So this is part 5 of making homemade diesel fuel again, out of used motor oil and stale gas. So I'm all done pumping that motor oil through the bed sheet into that tote. I'm going to use my big pump to pump some of that used motor oil and finish filling this up with used motor oil. I already had some stale gas and motor oil in it. So I moved my bed sheet over, I moved the screen over, stuck the hose down inside. Now we are pumping. Yeah, look at that black gold. Or a friend of mine would call it, I cannot believe it's not diesel. This batch I mixed last week needs to sit for 1 more week before I start using it. This will have to sit for at least 2 weeks. But for my normal everyday driving, these 2 totes of mixed fuel will last me almost 2 years in Stinky Pete and my 2 machines. Now, if I wanted to mix up batches for heating oil, these 2 batches will heat the whole house all winter long. And if I really wanted to, I can mix up, I think it's like 3 batches, and I can run it in my generator and power the whole house for about like $100 a year. But the problem is, what kills the cost is replacing the generator after like 10 years. So that's like a $3,000 expense. So it's like $300 a year for just the cost to replace the generator if I did it that way. Now it's time to mix it. Make sure you mix it real good. I checked the viscosity. I put the lid back on. I moved everything off this tote over. Now I'm going to take this tote out of here and bring another full one in. And now when those batches of fuel are done and all settled out, what you can do is pump them into nice clean storage totes. And you can just keep mixing more batches if you want. I'm not going to have to make any more for quite a while, so this will probably be my last video for a couple months. But to continue on what I would normally do, after I made a whole bunch of batches, after this tote gets filled with all that stuff, we were vacuuming off the bottom of those totes. I would put this in the shed and use that little pump to pump out of this tote about 1/2 to 3/4 of it through that bed sheet right into one of those mixing totes, since it's already mixed with good gas and oil. We don't have to add anything to it. We just got to make sure it's filtered out nice. So that's pretty much the whole series, you know, step by step, how I make the diesel fuel, what I do with the waste and everything. If you want, you can go check out my previous video on this little link at the bottom of this video, or check out my profile. And thank you for all your support, all your likes, comments, shares, everything. I do these videos to help people. I went through some tough times. I could not afford fuel or anything. So I figured out a solution, and now I shared with all of you. But again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all your support.